subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
It's all about respect. Respect is big. Respect is big. And, a lot of people in the dominant society, they got this thing where they feel like they don't have to respect our culture or our lineage. They look at us as something to exploit. You understand? They don't feel like they have to respect anything. I'm white and I'm dominant and I ain't got to respect nothing. You dig? So everything is an exploitive thing. That's why the ancestors are on their bumper. This is why, if you notice, European whites, white people from Europe, their vibe and disposition is a little bit different. For example, you see a lot of white people from Europe, a lot of European white people. Um, they have more of a respect for foundational Black American culture. Y'all notice that traveling Black people? When you travel overseas, you'll see over there, they'll have a deeper respect for hip hop culture. They'll have a deeper respect for funk and R&B music, things like that. There's a certain respect they have for it. Even when I see white people who can dance real good, you notice that if you see a white person who can really dance real good, keep the rhythm, keep the beat, usually it's a European white person. You notice that? When you see a white person who can really groove, a lot of times that white person is from Europe somewhere, from France, it's just somewhere. Because see, a lot of the European whites, they will approach hip hop and foundational Black American culture as a respected art form, not just entertainment. Because white people over here, they'll look at it, they're entertained by it, but they don't respect it as an art form the same way the European white people do. Like the European dancers, they study hip hop and all that. They study that shit with seriousness, with like the reverence of ballet and jazz. They really study that shit. So you go to countries like France, Germany, the Netherlands, hip hop and shit, that shit is institutionalized. They got dance schools, grants, festivals. It's a cultural treasure rather than an urban novelty. So that creates a more disciplined and structured learning environment. Like our Mink slide albums did phenomenal overseas in those European countries because they like that funk and all. They love that shit. You go over there, they like a lot of our blues and soul artists went over there. That's why those artists, the Rolling Stones and the Beatles, who do you think they were studying? The Rolling Stones, they named their group after a Muddy Waters song. Yeah, the Beatles were studying Little Richard. They were studying our people. Yeah, all of them. Yeah. See, the European white people, they romanticize foundational Black American culture, but a lot of white Americans, they study it, but there's a resentfulness to it because they've thrown everything at us and we still survived. So there's a little resentfulness there. See, a lot of white Americans, they grew up in a culture that demonized or mocked Black culture while simultaneously consuming it. And in contrast, European whites, they idolize and idealize foundational Black Americans and our cultural output, seeing it as cool, exotic, revolutionary. So that romantic romanticizing of it, that leads to more humility and learning rather than appropriating the culture with arrogance, you see. And also distance. Distance creates curiosity and respect. Proximity breeds entitlement. See, living next to foundational Black Americans, that made a lot of white supremacists culturally lazy. They'll just get access to it just by being nearby. When the white Europeans, they over there in Europe, being far away, they study it from a distance with a greater curiosity and respect. So that psychological difference, that makes more, it gives more reverence and respect, and they don't have the same cultural entitlement to it. And a lot of European nations, they really embrace state-supported arts more than the US. Countries like France and Germany, they'll fund urban dance crews and They host international battles and support cultural exchange programs. And, that institutional support that allows young dancers and people like that to train full time. They get paid. I mean, they get all types of grants over there to study our damn culture. Y'all notice them hip hop crews and them breakdancing crews from overseas, they be getting it in. They get all types of grants to sit over here and study our shit. You know? And same as over in Asia too, in Asian countries too, they study that stuff. You see, because the white American identity that's rooted in dominance, not mimicry. See, the dominant white American culture narratives that centers on control, ownership, and imitation without transformation. So they see somebody black doing something fly, the thing they think, okay, how can I capitalize and exploit this? Let me sign this guy and get all of his royalties, and let me exploit all of this talent. They think in terms of the Jerry Heller side of the game, whereas the Europeans, the white Europeans, they're like, hey, what he's doing is fly. Let me sit up here and learn some game. Let me study it. Let me look at his moves. Let me look at the way he's dressed. You understand? So the white Europeans is more of a respect. They don't have that racial dominance complex in an American context. So they are better students of the culture to a certain degree, And also another thing too, language barriers. That forces a lot of European dances to learn through movement, not words. You can't speak fluent English, so you have to learn the rhythm. You really, really have to get into the vibe and the rhythm. You have to focus on the beat and the bass and you really got to focus on that. And the physical movement, the movement becomes the language. You understand? So they really you really got to tap in on that level. So it's a physical learning thing. So there's a deeper embodiment of it. You know what I'm saying? And European subcultures, they usually revolve around mastery, not just clout. In many those European hip hop communities, it's all about skill, discipline, history. Just like you see Cirque du Soleil, they're real big on if you get into some kind of art form, you better be disciplined, you better be good. You really got to discipline yourself. Yeah. So, they focus on getting it right, you know, being to look as authentic as possible, you know? And it's very interesting. A lot of white Americans, they absorb sanitized commercial versions of hip hop. See, US pop culture, they water down hip hop to a certain degree. It's more of a commercial dance challenge and TikTok trends. European dancers, you know, they'll go and find some of the people who originated it. A lot of the original breakers and poppers and all of that, like Poppin' Pete and Boogaloo Sam, those dudes stay overseas. They bring them dudes in. When I see certain dancers overseas, I can tell what old school dancer they study. They go find them OGs from the 70s and take them over there and give them their props. I can tell like when them Japanese dancers and French dancers, when they've been studying Poppin' Pete, there's a certain Poppin' Pete was one of the he was in the movie Break, and he's a phenomenal dancer. One of the he's used to be on Soul Train. I mean, he was with the Electric Boogaloo's, I think. I think the group was the Electric Boogaloo's. He's from up there from Fresno, and this dude was getting it in the '70s. He really popularized popping and all of that. So they go and bring cats like that in and study them. That's how much respect they have for the culture. You see, they're gonna go to the source. They're not just gonna look at somebody do a TikTok trend. It's that type of respect, you see. So it's a very interesting thing when it comes to respecting culture. A lot of again, the white Americans here, because of proximity, there's an entitlement that kind of breeds contempt to a certain degree. They don't feel like they have to respect it. It's like, okay, they're here, we dominate them. So yeah, we'll take that over and we'll do our little janky version of it, and that's what it is. So we just got to understand how history and culture operates. Let me get some calls in here. because I'm not going to hold you too long. Brother Marcel wanted to get back up. Let me get brother Marcel back up. Brother Marcel, what's up, brother? Let's get brother Marcel back in. Oh, well, brother, he must have hit it by mistake. Must not have meant to get on. Okay. Mr. E and J, what you got to say, Mr. E and J? Let's get E and J in here. Mr. E and J, what's happening?
Hey brother, you're cooking tonight, but I just wanted to piggyback off your point about white Europeans having a more respect towards Black Americans, and like the way about they move, like even like going to basketball, NBA, like Luka Doncic and Nikola Nogic and Dirk Nowitzki, they all have like a way they move. It's kind of like they study Black
Right.
Americans.
Good
So
point. Yeah. The white.
yeah, exactly. Luca, he be cooking, and if you look at his highlights, it's like he flows like a Black American, same way as John Trick, all that stuff. And then I wanted to go to your point about Europeans, like in the Beatles, they worshipped people like Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that, because Jimi Hendrix, he came up with his own style of guitar. Jimi Hendrix, the youngest guitar player ever, he was self-taught, never had any formal training, but he was just a gifted Black American artist when it comes to the guitar. And the white Americans, they hate him because he made his own rendition to the Star Spangled Banner. So they always had a stick up their ass about that. But I just wanted to say that um, they killed Jimi Hendrix because he was getting closer to the Black Panther movement, and at that time, Jimi Hendrix was the most influential guitar players in the world. So I want you guys to do your research about that. But yeah, thank you for letting me on, brother Tariq. Happy
Thank you
Fourth.
so much, brother. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix. He was the truth. Yes, he was. All right. Let's see. Y'all raise your hands. If you are ready, ladies and gentlemen, raise your hands. Let's get Ronnie. Let's get Ronnie in the building. Mr. Ronnie in the building. Let's get Ronnie. Hop on, Mr. Ronnie. I can't pronounce your last name, Ronnie. You got a long last name. Oh, well, let me get my Greek brother in here. Speaking of Europeans and immigrants, let's get our brother Suntan. This is our European brother here from Greece. Suntan, how are you, buddy?
Happy 4th of July to the foundational Black American community. You've been here longer than anybody. It's your country. I just wanted to touch on something you said about the deadly lakes and ancestors and taking vengeance. The word lethal comes from the Greek goddess of Lethe, who's a water spirit, vengeance straight from hell. So like that's where that word the word lethal comes from.
Mm.
It was a punishment that she would drag you down into hell, and you would another word for it is oblivion. So I just wanted to touch base on that.
Man, that's heavy. Thank you so much. All right, let's get Ronnie. Ronnie, you in here?
Yes, thank you, Tariq, for having me here.
Yes,
Um,
Ronnie.
yes, I'm calling you from Nigeria.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I'm in support of what you're saying, okay? I think our ancestors got mad that we Africans allowed this white to take them. We started allowing white to start influencing everything. Maybe they are cool with you guys. I don't think you're wrong with that assertion. And if anybody is telling you otherwise from Nigeria, the person is joking because if you come here, there's a lot of criminals are everywhere. And
Mm.
when you call it out, somebody is telling you, no, don't say it, don't talk that. No, black, I don't associate with that name black at all. I don't like it because there's nothing black about me. But I don't, see anything wrong to people that want it anyway. Okay. But you see, we are one. Yes, I agree. But it doesn't mean that we should
Okay, so Ronnie, with the connection was a little bad. Unfortunately, I had to take you down. If you can call back with a better connection, because it was I really couldn't understand what you were saying, brother. With respect, I do want you to call back. I just would like for you to get a better connection so we can hear and feel what you were saying. Jason Scott, hop on, Jason. Jason Scott, yo, Jason. Jason Scott. All right. Since Jason Scott ain't saying nothing, let's get violent. Let's get violent. I can't pronounce your last name, but violent something. Violenta. All right, Violenta, you want to hop on?
Yeah, it's violent.
Okay, there you go. You called before, right?
Yeah, I've called a couple times.
There you go. So what's on you? Oh yeah, I remember. I remember you. I remember your voice. Where you from again, Violent?
I'm from Los
I'm
Angeles.
listening.
Oh, okay. That was Jason. So what's on you from Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's on you?
Oh, nothing. Just wondering how your 4th of July is going, man. Heard you're in
It's good.
Wyoming.
Yeah, I'm in Wyoming. I'm out here in the whitest place on
Yeah,
earth.
it's white as
Yes.
hell down there, dude. There's also like nobody down there from the last time I visited. Apparently,
Yeah.
isn't it like desolate as hell out there right now?
Just miles and miles of land. Just land. I'm like, where the hell do people live? It's like land, 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 and then there's like a little town. And there's a lot
Yeah,
of people in town.
dude,
Like, where the hell do they live? Yeah.
dude, it's crazy. It was like 7 hours of driving through that place, and there was not a single human being. We passed by a McDonald's, maybe there were some people in there, but it was like mostly buffalo. So I'm thinking they're inflating the population numbers with buffalo or something.
Yeah, it's beautiful though. It's beautiful as hell, though. And
Yeah.
but yeah, what's on your mind tonight?
Oh, so what do you think about this whole inflating of the ICE budget and like how ICE has more funding than some militaries in the world at this point because of this big beautiful bill?
It's getting serious. It's getting very serious. And yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem because yeah, we need to start letting people build their own lands up, and we need to use some of these funds to prioritize employing American citizens. So, I don't have a problem. Let's, Jason. You were about to talk, and I took you down, but Jason Scott, let's try it again. Let's try it one more time, Jason Scott. Let's see what's on your mind. All right. And while we're waiting on Jason Scott to come on through, let me see. Let me see. Let's get followers not allowed. Okay. Get followers not allowed. Hop on in. Followers not allowed. Unmute your microphone.
Wow, what's up, man? Thanks for breaking me up.
Yes, indeed. How are you?
Oh, just blessed, man. I've been here. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, but 2 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't get no sleep and everything, and then I see you talking, so I said, let me come on in and see if you're gonna bring me up to date. I noticed that you got root and work in your title here, and I want to give you. I just want to give you the acronym for work. You might find it kind of interesting. I identify as a freeman. I'm trying to get away from the color construct, but you might like.
Thank you.
Can I give you an acronym for work?
Go ahead.
It's W, wisdom. We must gain wisdom. O, opportunities. We must seek opportunities. Two R's, respect and responsibility. And then K is knowledge. Man, that came to me as I was driving one day. I was studying off of Genesis. I was having some problems with the problem in the garden and everything. And it's like God hit me upside the head and said, listen, me, Sean, that's my first name, me, Sean, you need to gain some wisdom in me. You have to get your opportunities through me. Only through respect and responsibility you will be known by, and then others would know you through your knowledge. So I just thought it was interesting because both of those words are in my book, and I just like, wow, root and works. I wanted to give that to you.
Thank you so much, brother. Okay. All right, go get you some sleep, brother. That's some. I gotta go get your sleep. Brother smoked him a little something and just got real deep. Yeah, yeah, you sound like you smoked on a little something, brother. Okay, he made something real deep. Okay, listen, I was at Starbucks. Okay, I was at Starbucks and I got me a latte. Okay, and listen, let's break down latte. all right, because it came to me. L, the Lord. A, attributions. T, heuristic. The other T, tantalizing. And the E, that's for edifice. So all of that has to do with the spirituality of Friedman. Okay, brother. All right. There you go. All right. There you go. All right, brother. All right. There you go.
Thank you.
Jason Scott, what's up, brother?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, Jason. What's on? Where you calling from, Jason?
I'm from Nashville.
Nashville. You from Nashville?
Yeah.
By way of what part of
Yes, sir.
what part of
Huh.
because that's not a Nashville accent. What part
I'm in yeah, it's Nashville. I'm speaking not through a speaker or a mic or a Bluetooth, so it's going to be sounding a little differently.
okay, now you a white dude? Or you a white boy?
Do I sound white?
Well, I'm asking. I'm asking because
Yeah, I'm white.
okay, there you go. There it is. All right, so what's on your mind?
No, I'm actually Cherokee, half Cherokee. Well, my mom's Cherokee, whatever you want to say.
You're white.
We can do
That
it.
means white.
No
So
problem.
what's on your mind, Jason?
Nothing. I was just listening in, and I like serious note, all this misinformation being spread over the internet. Okay, I really get offended by it. Why? Because everybody seems to be blaming someone else for something in their own culture, and it's weird. It's like, why?
Okay, let's
Like,
slow down. Okay, what misinformation? Let's slow it down. Take your time.
it's like everything's been taught from the last 20 years. So, well, since 2000 or 2001, everything in reality, even the television, even has been blurred out, and now it's all misinformation that you have to figure out on your own. And the easy part is to not believe it. And once you not believe it, it opens your minds up. Hey, let's really go on. Let's find out.
The misinformation.
And
What you being vague? What's the misinformation? You got to give me an example. Give me. No, let's not be.
the world view is the whole world view is being manipulated. The whole racism, the war, everything is not what it seems. It's all being dramatized. Why? So because you to tune in. This is the whole point of, like, please tune out. The whole television theory is to tell you a vision to program you into a sitcom. To sit down and be calm.
Okay, Jason.
Why is everybody so worked up about something that has nothing to do with them, but yet they still get all up in the what they consider panties in a wad about something that has nothing. This is the how the wars continues and the racism, because nobody can sit still and tell the damn truth. You're being programmed and you're doing it purposely. Why? Because you're volunteering because they told you to sit down and be calm.
Okay, have a good night, Jason. I'm gonna let you get back to that liquor and that pipe. Okay, because you just saying stuff. You said a lot of nothing. Boy, that was a bunch of vagaries. Yeah, I'm like, okay, can you give me anything specific? Give an example of what you're saying. The people, man, is the television. The T-E-L, a lie vision. It tells a lie, dude. It's lies all over. Everybody's lying. We don't believe nothing. It's space aliens giving us simulations. We're like in a giant iPad, dude. You're just saying stuff, dude. Come on, man. Come on. I'm not about to hear meth babble now. We're not doing that. I'm not going to listen to meth babble. If you want to hit that pipe, hit it by yourself. A lot of people want to hit that pipe and just find somebody to talk to. I want to hear meth thoughts. Come on now. Damn. Okay, come on. Getting to the root of it all. What's up, man?
Peace, my brother. Peace to everybody. Um, what's going on, bro?
What's going on? What's on your mind, brother?
So, we was talking to spirituality earlier, right? Um, far as foreigners is concerned, I'm an electrician, right?
Yeah.
So I go into these apartment buildings in these basements. One time I go in a basement with a maintenance guy. They don't do no work down there. So I go down there. They got dials hanging up. Somebody puts like makeshift dials down in the basement. They got drawings all over. And it just showing you that these immigrants, when they come here, they still bring their spirituality here, and they working on us. See, we don't know when you go to the barber shop, you go to Dominicans to get your hair cut, you go to all these different people to get your hair done. They take your hair and they put it on these dials. I seen it with my own eyes. I was like, what the heck is going on with seeing with this with what's going on in our society as far as our community? And I look at it, I'm like, they've been putting work on us. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And as far as us worshiping other deities, like their deities, we're empowering them. But what I notice is a lot of our people have been shutting that shit down, and we starting to worship our ancestors.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's I just wanted to bring that up so our people would be aware of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. My brother, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, let's get expert layman. Now, he was here the other day, and the expert is somebody who we suspect of being a Fed. Expert, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, expert. You saw the playback of the last time you called in?
Yeah, I actually did. I watched like an hour and a half worth of it. I saw the comments. Of course, people were saying that I'm not half FBA, which is to be expected, but it is the truth. I wouldn't just lie about that for no reason. So,
No, if you
I mean,
establish yourself as a liar, so if you lie about one thing, you'll lie about something else. That's called credibility. When you get caught lying about something, your credibility is shot. So that's the problem. You don't lie. And
y
eh,
yeah, no, no, no. Well, I mean, I actually wanted to talk to you about that. I guess like do a little mea culpa. Um, I did take the past 2 days since you and I spoke to do quite a bit of research about the topics that we were discussing,
mhm,
about like Black inventions and past Black empires and things like that.
right,
And I actually learned quite a bit. So I appreciate you for opening up my mind to that.
right,
I was looking at some like the iPhone developments. Many of the cellular radar stations were worked on by Black engineers, and a lot of the software, the iOS updates, the UX, a lot of that stuff was worked on by Black engineers too. So I guess I was looking at it in a vacuum, if that makes
right.
sense.
But let me
That's the
ask this. Why were you so quick to dismiss any Black contributions, any Black explorers, any Black inventions, any Black innovation? But when it came to whites, it was a given that, yeah, they did it. But whenever we mentioned something Black, it was, oh God, that's impossible. Oh no, we never got the benefit of the doubt. Where's that coming from with you?
I mean, to be fair, I probably do consume a lot of conservative media. I don't really consume a lot of Black media, just being honest with you.
Right, and you're
So
you're a
that
Nick Fuentes guy, right? You kind of a fan of Nick Fuentes?
I mean, I don't like his views on race. I think his views on race are fucking stupid, especially like when he talks about the IQ stuff. There's just so much evidence to the contrary. But I do think he's intelligent. Yeah, I think he's very intelligent. I watch a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, yeah, if you watch him, that's really all he's known for is his white supremacist views. He's on all types of white supremacist watch list and everything. That's really
Well, I mean, but that's those things are biased as well. You got to because they put a lot of people on those things.
right. Yeah, people who spew.
They put Myron on those things. Myron Gaines, I'm sure you know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a white supremacist. They'll put him on there as an extremist because he says a bunch of anti-black racism.
Yes, he does.
Right. So
And I don't support that. I thought I made that clear. I just and if I maybe I
but
didn't, I
not
don't know.
really because you kind of parrot the same talking points to a certain degree. You anything that was black, that was progressive, it was immediately dismissed or questioned or undermined. So it's kind of the same thing. Huh?
Well. I mean, yeah, but I want to make it clear. I want to establish a distinction. There's a difference between me being skeptical and I probably didn't convey that correctly, but me being skeptical and me being outright like looking down on black people. I do not feel that way about black people whatsoever. Like I don't have the same racial views that Nick Fuentes and um, Myron Gaines have about black people at all. My thing is more so just wanting to be accurate about the historical record. That's all it is. And I was wrong,
Right.
and you proved me wrong in that video. And that's kind of one of the things I wanted to discuss with you further because well, go ahead, Ed. I don't know if you wanted to say something.
About your upbringing, because I remember you said you had an El Salvadorian dad and your mom was from an FBA background, but there was a lot of people were pointing out some contradictions there. You were saying that there was some Cherokee or something. There was some Native Americans.
Choctaw.
Choctaw, right, right, right,
Yes.
right.
Yeah. So if you want me to tell you about that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, your mom is from where, and who's her parents? Where are her parents from?
so my mom is from Los Angeles, and my grandmother is from Texas, and my grandfather is from Texas.
Okay, and they're both foundational Black Americans.
100% full foundational Black Americans, descendants of slaves.
All right, now where did the Choctaw come in?
That's from Mississippi. So okay, so there's on my maternal side, there's two different families that came together. There was the Morgans and then the Harmons. So on the Morgans, that was the Choctaw side, and they got pushed out of Mississippi. And I think my third or fourth, no, my third generation great grandmother, or no, my fourth generation great grandmother was full Choctaw. She had a daughter. She was full Choctaw. She got married to a Morgan, who was the son of a slave. And then they had my second great grandmother, who was half black and half Choctaw. And then from that point forward, they just kept marrying black folks. And then, so I like the Choctaw part kind of got,
Sir, I'm
I
half
guess, breeded out.
FBA and half Belizean, and I don't have the spirit to discredit my people the way you did. Like, I have respect for my FBA side, and I'm half Belizean, and my roots go to Arkansas, Brinkley, Arkansas. M- My grandmother, Aline and Maybell, and I did family reunions, and it's just great things with my FBA family. And I'm not negative towards my FBA side, and also my Belizean side, they would say stuff like Yankees and disrespect my FBA side. But me as being half, you were extremely negative. And even if you didn't know the information, why were you so eager to come up here and bring your negative spirit? That's why I don't think you're half at all. I think you're honestly a tether. And I don't want you to ruin it for us halves who went to the family reunions, who have respect for our grandmas, our uncles, did reunions, lived the experience here, and then
Right.
you saying that you're half, you're putting a bad image on us who respect our half of our FBA lineage. So I just wanted to come up there and say that I think you're a liar. I'm half, like I said, FBA and Belizean, and I love my FBAs. You guys are the best. You guys are heroes. So I just wanted to say that. And sir, you're a zero. Goodbye.
Thank you, Sean. Thanks.
Yeah, I guess it's fair for him to feel that way, even though I mean everything he just said was incorrect. But yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to do a mea culpa, I guess. Like, um, well, I don't know if you wanted to say something.
Well, your mom, going back to your mom,
Yeah,
because I'm trying to understand the mindset of that you would have, somebody who would grow up listening to a Nick Fuentes and kind of spew, you kind of have somewhat of an anti FBA disposition and kind of dismissive to FBA.
I'm not I'm not anti FBA. I don't think.
Kind of you were very dismissive to the FBA lineage. You claimed to be a part of it. I'm trying to understand your mom growing up. Did your mom, she Salvadorian dude who had, was she dating a bunch of non-black dudes? That's her thing.
Before my dad,
Yeah, and after. Is she with a non-black dude now?
that's a fair question. So before, well, that's interesting. Before she met my dad, she was married to somebody else. So I have an older brother who's my half
Is
brother.
he
So we have
was he white? She married to a white man?
uh, Irish and Mexican.
White, yeah. She married to a white.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then she got with your dad, and then
And then they Yeah, they split, and then she started dating black guys. But she's always liked black guys, so I don't know why she didn't marry one. But yeah,
That's interesting. That's interesting. Mm, mm. So who's she with now? She's just single now. Who's she with now?
she's seeing someone, and he's like a successful black dude. He's very smart. He's a house. He works for he works for the state, or well, no, he's an independent housing. Like he checks like the house, like the buildings and their fire escapes, and making sure like all the things are proper. He's like a safety inspector basically at buildings.
Is he FBA? Where is he from?
Where is he from? No, he's FBA too.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That can sound like he might be an immigrant. He might be trying to get his green card game.
No, no.
Oh, let me get Hart. Hart, you in here? Hart? I mean, Hart wanted to say something. Hart, you in here? All right, Hart jumped up, and I thought he wanted to say something, but it's all good. Okay, but Jay, but it's all good, man. We're gonna talk another day. I'm gonna get another call in here before I get up out of here. We'll talk again. Yeah, the little debate we had put a real questionable light on you. It was real oppish. You got into some real op behavior. Fish, what's up, Fish?
What's up, man? I have a question, Tariq. Do you feel a little bit, for example, like with me, I feel a little bit strange on 4th of July. Like even as a kid, they forced us, for example, to pledge allegiance, put your right hand on your heart. I didn't do none of that. I always disobeyed, and they sent me to the office for not doing the pledge allegiance.
Mm-hmm.
But do you have any odd feelings like on 4th of July?
No, no, not really, because we've always dealt with the hypocrisy of the powers that be in this nation. So we've always dealt with that dichotomy and the hypocrisy. So, we just do us. We just make sure that we're good as foundational Black Americans, and that we're grounded, and we try not to let the hypocrisy mess with us too much. Now, Fish, where are you from? Again, I know I spoke with you before. You're Eastern European?
Yeah,
Well,
Russia. I think maybe it's because I understand my history and I kind of sort of don't understand their history, because they're at one time they're saying, "Oh, independence, freedom," but even the English language, it didn't come from America. It came from
right.
England. And so they it's a hard fact for them to kind of swallow,
Mhm.
and I will say I always felt a little bit uneasy on 4th of July. It's not really a holiday for me.
Speaking of language, you do know your language, Russia. It came from a
Yeah,
black man, Alexander Pushkin, right?
yeah,
Indeed. Oh, yeah, and I like that. In Russia, they kind of give it up. They don't even hide it. They know. Um, I know they pay a lot of homage to Pushkin out there. So yeah, much respect to that. Much respect. Oh man. Okay. Man. Let's get viral drip in the building. Viral drip, hop on in. Mr. Drip, what's happening? Viral, unmute your microphone.
My bad, Flex. I wasn't trying to come up, man. I just must have hit it by mistake, bro.
There you go. I'll take you down. I hear a dog barking. It's all types of shit going on back there. The hell your dog doing up this late? Nigga, the only time you have a dog up this time of night if it's a trap house. All right. This nigga got the dogs barking at customers. Okay, yeah, I don't know what you got going over there, viral drip. But you better look out the peephole. All right. Oh man. Anyway, let me get on up out of here, man. Y'all had me on here all night dealing with y'all. What's up, Richard Sudan, my UK brother, man? Shout out to you. What's up, cousin Jerry? I see you down there. Family, y'all go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com, hiddenhistorymuseum.com. Make a contribution to the Hidden History Museum and get the book Hidden Heroes from A to Z. Also, go to rootworkstyle.com to get the best deodorant on the planet. That's rootworkstyle.com. Rootwork deodorant, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm up out of here. Papi Akute, Lola Vuve to the family. Peace.
Hey y'all, I'm feeling fresh out here at the club. That's because I got my Rootwork deodorant on. Y'all need to get with the program and get your Rootwork at rootworkstyle.com.